Alright guys, this is a little bit of an introduction to RStudio, which is going to be one of our key tools here in our class. R is a programming language like Python. R gives you a bunch of baked-in functionalities for working with advanced statistical analysis. R, the programming language, but to use the programming language we need a front-end interface, a UI, and that is going to be RStudio. So let's go and get RStudio set up. Now, I've kicked out another video which teaches you how to install R and RStudio in your environment on your operating system, and I strongly suggest that you watch that and then follow along with this, because this is a video so you can pause it and you can replay it and so on. And we're going to see a handful of basic skills now which you should become quite familiar with right away. So to begin with, over here on the right we have our environment panel, and as I create variables you're going to see those variable names popping into existence here. Here we're going to see how we can write and save scripts, which are collections of variables, and this is our console, and our console gives us a command line where we can enter and work with our programming statements. So let's do that right now. So to begin with, I could make a simple variable. And you see here now, the less than sign and then the dash is just how we say assignment. So we're pushing the value of 5 into that variable. And we're seeing that showing up here in our environment values panel. Right, I could make another variable such as y, and I just pressed the up arrow key. The up arrow key is a pretty good way of quickly repeating previous commands that you entered. And there it is over there. And that is as much as I want you to work on right now. You could also make some simple little expressions, such as some arithmetic expressions. But here's the thing to be aware of. If I exit and come back in, my variables are now gone. I don't have them anymore. And that kind of sucks because maybe I did a lot of work to put that together. So you never want to count on your environment to remember things. You want to work with what are called scripts. So you do that as follows. So we're going to go here, File, New File, Script. And then you're going to put your commands in here. So X, and then our assignment variable 5. So that says we're pushing 5 into the variable X. And if I ask for X down here, nothing's going to happen. Why? Because I haven't run that statement yet. So let's run it. And now you see here I have X equals 5 in my global variable environment right there. I can type over here at the console the variable and then press the enter key and it'll just dump out the variable. And I press the up arrow key a couple of times there. Now I'm going to make another variable like y. There it is. And I'm going to make a variable storing a relationship. So that makes sense, right? So 5 minus 50 is negative 45. And I want to persist this for next time. So I'm going to save these in my script. So here, in fact, generally the way I do it, I do everything in the script first and I run it. I don't really enter too much at the console. So we said that y is assigned a value of 50. And z is a relationship between x and y. And that's pretty much it. So let's save. and come up with a good naming convention. We'll talk about it in class. You're going to have a lot of scripts by the time we're done with the course for your assignments and your projects and your homework and so on. So if you come up with some good naming scheme, that's going to make it much easier to keep organized. And when you're at work, the information architect, the project manager, the team lead, whoever is in charge of your area, is going to have a convention for naming scripts, which is what you're going to follow. All right, so I'm just going to name that as C because it's my third script of today. Now, if I wipe out my environment, it's all gone. So if I ask for any of these things, it's not going to work anymore. It doesn't know what X is. And similarly, whenever I exit my environment, whenever I exit RStudio, my environment's going to get wiped out. So let's go back in. But now all I need to do is reload my script. See, it's there. Imagine it was not there. I could go and open it again. And I can know from my naming convention what's the most recent script I was working on. There it is. Now, if I go and type Z, nothing's going to happen. Why? Because I loaded the script. I haven't run it. So I can select one or all lines and run them. And now those values are available in my environment. So I'm just typing the name of the variable and pressing enter, and it's dumping out what its value is. All right, guys, so I want you to go and do this much that we've done. Make sure your R is running. Make sure your RStudio is up and going. And just do some simple exercises to convince yourself that when you enter a object, which is a variable at your command prompt, it'll be stored in your environment, but it's volatile. It's going to vanish and go away when you exit. So therefore, the preferred professional way of doing things is to always work with a script and save it, and then you can come back and reload your script later. See there, I'm going to change the value of Y. And now, if I run my Z variable, we see that this is not capturing the updated value of Y because I need to rerun the comparison. Oh, see, I'm pressing the enter key, but my cursor was up here in the editor. My cursor needs to be at the console to execute that variable. So anyway, guys, just do this much for right now. Spend maybe 20 or 30 minutes getting yourself extremely familiar with the mechanics of RStudio, and then we'll pick it up from here.